Hi, Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. For nearly 30 years, I've been focused on helping advisors become the best both personally and professionally. This show is dedicated to sharing with you tools, tips, strategies, distinctions, things that are working now. I'd love for you to take a moment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and also the subscribe button so you get automatic updates. And if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and you leave a positive review for us. Now, with that said, let's get to today's episode. Welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. This is Coach Joe Lucas. Hey, I hope you're all doing well. And yes, we are publishing this on April 1st, April Fool's Day. But trust me, we're not going to do any fooling here inside this episode. We're going to talk today about why it's critical, essential, that if you're going to do any critical thinking, any strategic thinking, any exponential thinking, that you do it outside of your tactical environment. And I'm going to share with you a very personal story of how I made several breakthroughs in the last 7 days on the direction of my business. I call it shifts and pivots. And my experiences. And my goal here is to inspire you, motivate you, influence you to take your strategic, creative, exponential thinking to a whole nother level. So let me give you a little background. So I believe all of us have basically three identities or three domains, right? So in your case, it's going to be the advisor, the business owner, and the entrepreneur. In my case, it's the coach, the business owner, and the entrepreneur. So the coach advisor, that domain, right? I call that a tactical domain. If you think about when you come in your office, right, what are you focused on? Email, clients, meetings, getting through the to-do list, adding value, things like that. So we're really working, proverbially in the business, as Michael Gerber used to say. When do you work on it? And to give you a personal story, I've been having, I don't want to say sleepless nights, but I've had this uncertainty about what am I going to do next? And what I mean by that is that, we've had a lot of growth. I've had a lot of growth the last several years. And what happens with any business model, and I don't care what business you're in, at some point you kind of max out the current way you operate or the current model. And then what I always like to say is you've got to figure out what your shift and your pivot is. And that was where I was struggling because I had options. I had a level of uncertainty around it. And if you're in your tactical environment, even when I go for walks in the morning and things like that, bottom line, I'm still in my tactical environment, still at home, still in my home office, still in my neighborhood, right? Things like that. So past weekend, my wife and I, who is also my business partner, Marissa, we go into Winter Park, Florida, which I happen to love, by the way. And I said, I just got to get out of here for a couple of days, and I just need to think. And so it wasn't like we had this heavy agenda. It wasn't like we were going to be doing a tourist thing or anything like that. I said, look, I really want to do nothing, maybe walk around a lot and think, and maybe lay by the pool and think, right? And that's what I did. So I did that, a Monday, Tuesday of this past week, and even Wednesday morning. And what I realized was that in order to have breakthrough thinking, you have to give yourself permission to go ahead and get in a different environment. And what I find with most advisors, again, there's always exceptions, thank God. Most of you are so focused on getting through your to-do list. You're so focused on the pebbles, if you will, that you're missing the rocks and the boulders that are right in front of you. So because I build mastermind groups and I have Magellan Network, so I really have like a three-headed monster, if you want to think of it that way, right? Magellan Network, which is our group coaching community game. We have 4 ongoing mastermind groups right now. And then I do my personal deep work with my private clients. And so, the private client thing is definitely maxed out with a waiting list. Pretty much all the mastermind groups are just about full. I got like 1 or 2 chairs left amongst all of them, and then that's it. And network is just moving and grooving like it, which I love. So I was faced with the quandary of, okay, what's next? Okay, what do I do next? And because I get and if you're like me, you get bored. If you're not advancing, if you're not growing, if you're not evolving, you get uncomfortable, you get bored. And I was feeling that okay, what's next? That uncertainty, right? Which I don't like. So I made a commitment on this little trip we took that I'm just gonna do some deep thinking. And literally, what I would do is sit by the pool with no cocktails, a glass of water or iced tea, and I would just like stare off into space. It'd be like I was almost in this meditative state, and worked out really, really well. Was I'm very good. I've learned to what I call Q&A myself, so question and answer myself. So hey, what are my options? What do you think makes sense? What's the comfortable to the uncomfortable, right? And I go through this whole decision making tree, if you will. And what's very interesting about that is that when I was thinking, I said, well, I could raise fees, and that's one way to kind of keep the game going. I said but that has limits, obviously. And that doesn't help my prime mission of helping more advisors. So yeah, it's good for me. It's not good for my mission. So it's incompatible / incongruent with my mission and my core values. So Q&A. Then what I came up with. So here's a really cool thing. So literally on day 3, I had this breakthrough. I said, I look at my mastermind groups, and number one, if I put the right people in the seats, it's sticky. They're really, really sticky. There's tremendous value there. You could build positive relationships. And I believe in the next 5 or 10 years, every advisor is going to be in a mastermind study group. I just think it's going to be what happens, right? So I've been doing these for 10 years, and I said, why don't I just build another group? And then I started thinking about it. I go, I've had several clients come to me who have servicing advisors, junior advisors. So we'll call them non-owner advisors, staff advisors, whatever we want to call them. And it wouldn't be appropriate to put, what I'll call team advisors in with the owner leaders in the same group. It's 2 different dynamics. So I've been thinking, I've had enough of my clients ask me, so I decided that we will build a mastermind / study group of just those advisors. So we'll call them team advisors, right? And the more I thought about it, the more I got really excited, because I started. Then if you think about it, then I get my where is it? I get this puppy out right here, my journal, and I like to draw like pictures. I'm a crappy artist, by the way, but I can draw circles and boxes. And I start coming up with offers. Okay, here's what that's going to look like, and we're going to put accountability in, and it'll be like a 3-headed monster, right? It's going to be network, their own tribe, and then we're going to actually get them an accountability coach inside the tribe. So it's going to be powerful, right? Nobody in the industry is going to do what we're doing here. Got very excited. So that was cool. But then another thought creeped in my brain, and I'm like, okay, but what am I going to do? Because I'm almost out of chairs in my tribes, in my groups. And then I said, well, in reality is I'm going to have to build another group. So I literally entered this is serious thinking here. I literally went into this year, after I did my business plan and everything, I had no intention of building any more groups this year. I was going to push that off for another year or 2. And here we are, 90 days, not even 90 days into a new year. And I've made the shift and the pivot to where we're going to go forward with both groups. Then I'm thinking, okay, what else can we do? And then I'm like, okay, so what else can we do? And I said, we're creating Magellan Network 2.0. In fact, as you're watching this, we've already started the launch, and we're putting our version 1.0 tribes into the new platform we've developed. And I'm going, I've got a lot of freedom, flexibility there. So why don't I go ahead and reach out to, RIAs and IMOs and FMOs and master OSJs, and offer what I'll call tribal pricing, right, for chairs. Really bring a training, coaching resource, into your offer when you're looking to bring other advisors in. So I said, that's really cool too. We'll develop that down the road. But here's the point of all this. None of those decisions would have happened standing or sitting in this room. None of those decisions would have taken place in this house, in this neighborhood. The biggest breakthroughs I've ever made have been, like 2 of them, which for those of you who know me, I've always talked about. There's 2 places. There's Huntington Beach, Huntington Beach, California, and Dana Point, California. Those are 2 places where I've had my biggest breakthroughs in the last 5 years, where everything got clear, and I moved forward. So I live in Florida. Other than going to Hawaii, maybe Alaska, right? You can't get much further in the United States, right, to do strategic genius level thinking. So here's what I'm going to say to everybody. If you're stuck, if you're frustrated, if you're uncertain, or you don't know what to do next, or what's the next pivot of my game, whatever you do, don't sit in your office and think about it, because you're not going to get any good answers, because that's your tactical environment. I don't care if you go on vacation. We talk about renewal time all the time, and I love renewal time. I think renewal time is critical to have. And I think a lot of advisors say, well, I can't afford to go away on vacation. I got too many things to do. And here's reality. Renewal time is when you get your breakthroughs. Renewal time is when you do your best thinking. We shouldn't be thinking about the business because you're on vacation, right? You're with your family, whatever. That is when the breakthroughs happen. You know why? Your mind relaxes. You stop stressing over it. Just let it flow. And the universe will provide the answers that you need. If you're in a good frame of mind, great state, great location, relaxed mind, great questions, outcomes and clarity can be achieved. So thank you for watching and listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. I hope my story makes sense to you and that you give yourself permission. You don't have to go away for 2 weeks. I went away for 3 nights, 2 days, 3 nights basically. And I've changed the direction of my business just by doing that. So take advantage of those opportunities. It's really cool. We get to have some fun too. So it wasn't like we're sitting there thinking all day, right? Shopping, dinner, all fun stuff. Make that happen for yourself. Give yourself that gift. Give yourself that permission, okay? And if this ain't made any sense to you, MagellanNetwork.net. That is our free basic membership program. Costs you nothing. Nothing but value there for you. So check that out. And again, I'll look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game both personally and professionally.